Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a terrific new disc on CPO, featuring music by the fabulous Czech composer Vitězslav Novák. He's really good. Really good. And I was very excited for this because Novak wrote two ballet pantomimes, Signorina, Gioventu, and Nicotina. And they've only been recorded once, incomplete, on Superphone, very well by František Žižek. But they're so great. They are two masterpieces, about 55 minutes each. I mean, they're like, it's like Daphnis and Chloe goes to Czechoslovakia. I mean, they're big, huge, glorious orchestral extravaganzas with amazing music, and they deserve to be really well known. And there's just that one recording and nobody knows about them, and it really just blows my mind. So when this was coming, I was very excited. These are suites from those two works. Signorina Joventu was arranged by this conductor, Lukasz Borowicz, who's very good. And Nicotina was arranged by Václav Talich. Talich conducted the premieres of both works as concert pieces, not as ballets. And I was a little bit actually of mixed feeling because I just want complete recordings of these two works. We need modern, complete recordings. Well, these were modern. They're digital recordings, the Superphone ones. But, we need super opulent, wonderful new recordings of them. It's the kind of thing, frankly, that if he had any imagination in his brain, John Wilson would do with the Sinfonia of London, because he does all these blockbuster things that everyone else has done better, or that's a waste of time. But if he wanted to do some really good, interesting repertoire that would be fabulous to show off the orchestra, he could do these two ballets. That would be fun. Or somebody else like that. I mean, because they are virtuoso pieces and absolutely brilliant, tuneful and glitteringly scored and just a thrill. Now, having the two suites here is a nice thing. You get a delicious taste of both pieces. Signorina Joventu is about 16 minutes long. It's not a big suite, but the music itself is just terrific. The story, by the way, the stories are great. Signorina Gioventu is a tragedy and Nicotina is a comedy. The tragedy is about a law clerk who he's dying actually of fever. He doesn't know it. But, he leaves the office. He's miserable. His job is terrible. He feels like crap. He's sick. And he sees a street festival in which he wants to participate, a costume street festival. And, he goes into a shop where he looks at the various costumes and he's hallucinating because he's delirious. And, so these costumes come to life and people bop around, and Signorina Gioventu is the female embodiment of youth. And he nostalgically reminisces about how wonderful his life was before he got his miserable job in the law office, and he pursues her, and eventually people wake up the next morning and the whole hallucinatory thing vanishes, and he turns up to be dead in front of the costume shop. Because he has passed away from his fever in the evening. So it's sad, but the music is just phantasmagorical. And Nicotina is just a hoot. I mean, Nicotina is about a monk who is addicted to snuff. Snuff, you take a little tobacco and you just stuff it up your nose. And because he's addicted to nicotine, he hallucinates. There's a hallucination all over these ballets. Nicotina is the female embodiment of his addiction, and she pops out of his snuff box, and they go and have a bunch of absolutely crazy adventures. He has a donkey, it turns into a horse, and they try and go. He tries to make love to her, but he's a klutz, and he gets grabbed by two homely women, and all kinds of things happen. It's just nutty. And there's another one where eventually, the illusion evaporates, and he's back, in the courtyard of his monastery with his donkey and his snuff, and he arranges to shrink Nicotina back down so that he can stick her back in his snuff box. And he's still addicted to snuff, but he keeps a tight lid on it as the ballet ends, heroically, by the way, with a big, wonderful peroration with crashes on the tam-tam. Oh, yes. It has a wordless choir, female choir, I believe. And, like Daphnis and Chloe. It's just amazing. The tunes are great. The orchestration is stunning. And this particular suite, which was arranged by Václav Talik, is about 20 minutes of the whole thing. And I can't imagine you hearing it and not wanting to just rush out and listen to the whole ballet, because it's incredible music. Now, the piano concerto dates from 1895, and it's an early work. And Novak was never quite satisfied with it, because he stopped writing in that sort of romantic Lisztian vein soon afterwards. It's a monothematic thing in multiple movements, and it's full of bravura passage work. It's not a masterpiece, I think, because the thematic material isn't as distinctive as it would need to be, but it's a good piece. I mean, he was a wonderful musical craftsman. And, people say that, you go, ooh, craftsman. No. It's well written and fun to listen to. And Oliver Trindle plays it here extremely well. And the Janáček Philharmonic of Ostrava, under Lukasz Borowicz, as I said, plays splendidly. The sonics are great. I mean, it's just a wonderful disc, period. So if you don't know Vitězslav Novak's work, you owe it to yourself to hear him. He was a really terrific composer, first-rate composer. He wrote tone poems and suites. He didn't write symphonies. He just has this one concerto, I believe. So he's not as well known as he might otherwise be in the pantheon of Czech composers, but he was one of the really great ones. So give this a shot, and you will be very, very happy. It's already available for download if you don't see the physical product. These two ballets are just smashing. They really are. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.